Hey everybody, and welcome back to my fourth episode of this podcast that has not been named yet, but we're thinking of a name that has to do with something that I'm going to talk about at the end of the podcast. My name is Grace, and I will be your host today. I'll be your friend to chat about crafty things and non-crafty things. Today is Friday, September 4th. Not 4th, it's the 9th. Last week was the 4th. It's the 9th today. And grab something really tasty to drink, whether it be hot or cold, and maybe some crafty goodness, and then let's just sit down for a right good chat. So, this week it might be a little bit shorter just because I've been really busy with stuff. I have been knitting, but I've been knitting on some secret test knit stuff, so I can't show you guys that. But I do have a little bit of knitting. It'll mainly be about things that I have knit and things that I want to knit. So that's exciting because then you can see what I've knit and hear about my ramblings about the things that I'm going to knit or the thing that I'm going to knit. So let's just get started with that. Like I said, I'm knitting a test knit. I can't show you that, but that's okay. You'll see it eventually. As there is a deadline and I do have to meet that, so that's exciting. There has been no progress on Buccaneer. I have not touched it at all because of the test knit. And also because of the pond topper hat, which is what I was talking about last week about casting on, which is really exciting. I did, and right after I finished recording last week, I picked the color and I went upstairs and I wound it up and got started on it. It was really wonderful, and here it is. So looking back on the podcast while I was editing it last week, I realized that this yarn is showing up a lot more red than it actually is. On the camera, it's showing up very orange. On my computer, it was showing up red. I don't know how you saw it, but it's actually a very bright, vibrant orange, like a very clean carrot. Very clean carrot. So this is what I have so far, and it's going mighty fine. I really enjoyed the ribbing. Like I said before, I enjoy 2x2 ribbing when it's a minimal amount, when it's not too much. I've done maybe 4 rows of the pattern. I've done enough so I have 2 rows of actual cabling. Cabling's very easy. It's very mindless. I don't really have to think about it a whole lot, and so that's really great. It's a very mindless knit, and so that's really great. And there's my ball. I did have a problem with some yarn barf just due to bad winding on my part, so that was kind of frustrating, but that's okay. The problem got fixed, and now it's all set and ready to go, and that's really exciting. And that is in my Stitch by Jessalou bag, which is super cute with the flip-flops on the inside. So adorable. So yeah, that's what I've been knitting on besides the test knit, and so that's really exciting. So next I'm going to talk about things that I want to knit. If you are any kind of Stephen West fan, you are very aware that today, or you probably are very aware, that today he opened up the kits for his 2016 mystery knit along. And I have done his mystery knit alongs ever since they started, actually, I think, which is pretty crazy. I wanted to do them. I think some of them I didn't get kits for, but for the most part I got kits for all of them. Not all of them, maybe not the first couple, but I've gotten kits for the past maybe 2 or 3. I haven't necessarily finished them, but that's okay. I know where they are. They will eventually get finished. I do promise that. That's okay. You can never have too many works in progress, in my mind. Anyway. And so today those kits went live. His website did have a little problem. It did have a little crash, which was very stressful. Just because it's like, oh my goodness, I really want one of these kits, and if I don't get one, the colors that I pick won't be right. They won't look the way it's supposed to, like the way I want it to, because the colors in these kits were specifically dyed with this shawl in mind. And Stephen West picked them out, and they're just, you get the kit, you're ready to go. It'll look like a Stephen West shawl all the way through. And so I was sitting there on my computer in my bed, and the site had crashed, and was like, oh my goodness, what am I, no. But after about 30 minutes or something, thankfully, I was one of the lucky few who got the website, like, eventually loaded and PayPal loaded, and it was really great. And so those are on their way. I got 2 of them. They're the same color, one for me and one for my mom. And so as soon as they come, and as soon as the clues start coming in, we'll start working on that. So it'll kind of be like a big, massive knit together mystery, knit along, obviously, knit together. No, knit along, yeah. That we're all doing. So if you're doing that, you can see my progress as I go along, and it'll definitely be on Instagram, and it'll definitely be on my blog. So that's really great. You can keep up with my progress there, in all the places. I think that's all I wanted to talk about with that. But yes, I'm really excited about my colors. The colors that I ended up going with are like, they're really bright pinks, but they're like baby pastel pinks. And I don't have any shawls that color. I say this wearing like it's got pink in it, but I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But these are like baby springy pinks, and they're like neon pinks. And it's all pink, and I don't have any shawls that color or those colors, and I think it was a lot of fun. I saw the ones that were popping up when the site would occasionally work, and that one just like caught my eye immediately, and I was like, oh my goodness, that one looks amazing. I have to do it in that one. In the Stephen West released like maybe 6 of them or 9 of them, 9 of the little kits that he had put together as a preview, but there were 16 in total, so it was just kind of like, I know there are 16, and I don't want to be limited to these like 9 that are here. I don't want to be like, I want one of these, and these are the only ones I have to pick from. So I'm glad I waited, and I saw what the other colors were, because I ended up going with one of those. So. And my mom's and mine, both the shells will be the same color. They're both in the same kit colorway, so that's exciting. Along the same Stephen West vibe, because you can never have too much Stephen West, and knit-alongs for that matter, there are 2 podcasts. One, Dyer's Notebook, which is Laura, also of Jinx Yarns, and then the Yarngasm podcast, which is I am totally blanking on her name. How could I be blanking on her name? I don't know. She also has yarn, Vine Yarns. The links will be in the show notes, no worries. But they are hosting an Exploration Station Cal, or knit along. Cal, K-A-L. If you are unfamiliar with the knitting terminology, that is what that stands for. Which is really wonderful. If I didn't already have an exploration station, I would definitely be doing it. But as I already have one, I don't feel the need. I actually just like completed it earlier this year, and I'm actually wearing it, so I'll show it to you in a minute. But because I already have one, I didn't feel the draw to it, although there was a part of me inside that was like, ooh, should I cast on another one? I could do another one with a totally different colorway. Oh my goodness, the color possibilities, so much fun. I really did enjoy it. It's a wonderful knit, and I would definitely knit it again if I could. So, if I had more time, I would knit it again. So that's that. But if you want to go join their Cal, you should go check out both of their podcasts. They both talked about it. I know that they have threads in their Ravelry groups, and so links to their stuff will be in the show notes as well. There's a lot of people that I follow on Instagram that are also doing it, so that's kind of what has like drawn my attention to it. yeah, there's just a lot of people casting on, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I remember when I was doing that. It's just such a fun shawl, but I already have one, so, and I want to knit other things. But that's okay, you know? That's okay. But now I'm going to show you mine. Mine is, it's made out of Madeline Tosh Merino Light, and I feel like this shawl is one of those types of shawls that the first time you see it, you're like, that's really weird. I don't think I like that. But then as time goes on, you're like, you keep on looking at it and you're like, oh, I really like that. Maybe, do I like that? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. You go through phases. You love it, you hate it. You're like, I don't really care. But then the moment comes when you have access to one and you try one on, and then it's a done deal. You have to make one. I say this because this is what happened to me. I was on the edge many a time about this shawl, and then I actually tried one on, and it was like, oh my goodness, I have to make one. So this is my exploration station, and as you can tell, it is so big. So big. So out of frame. But that's okay. We're gonna make it work. So, there was someone I was talking to, Amy, from the Stranded podcast and Stranded Yarns. She's a dyer. Hey, Amy. She is also doing the knit along, and I saw that she posted a picture about it, and she said it was looking small or something, and so because I know that this is a massive shawl, I commented very quickly and was like, no, it's okay. It's really okay. This is like, once you block it out, it kind of turns into a lap blanket almost. It is so big, and I love it so much. But yes, I really like the different sections. We have the brioche section right after brioche section. There we go. That's hard to say. The brioche section, and then the slip stitch section, and then what is this? The garter ridge, I would assume. I don't remember what it was called, but the garter ridge section at the very bottom, and then we have this really awesome edging. This was my first time doing brioche. It is a lot of fun. If you have no idea what you're doing though with brioche, I highly recommend that you do a little bit of brioche before you start it, because I didn't do that and I kind of messed up like the first maybe 4 or 5 rows of brioche, but that's okay. It's just a design element. It doesn't change anything about the shawl. But it's such a cool technique and I love it so much, and I want to do more in brioche. I have plans for the future. So that's fun. But yeah, so this is my exploration station, and I'm gonna put it back on because in Texas, like, it's so hot outside that you have the AC cranked down real low, and then it's it gets pretty chilly inside, so it's really nice to like bundle up. Inside, when outside it's like 95 degrees or something like that, but that's okay. The fall is coming. It is September 9th, not the 4th, the 9th, which means that October will be here before you know it. So that's good. Which is really weird. I know that October is going to be here before you know it because I feel like it's going to be very similar to this week, where like Monday and Tuesday happened and it was just like, man, it feels like it should be Thursday or Friday by now, but it's not. It's only Tuesday. And then Wednesday happened, Thursday happened, and bam, it's Friday. And like, what? Time flies somehow. And so I feel like September will be the same way. September, the first week will be like, wow, why isn't it October yet? Why isn't it September like 30th yet? And then before you know it, it'll be October. Or it'll be Christmas and you'll need some Christmas knitting too. You'll need to be doing some Christmas knitting. So if you need some gift ideas that are really quick knits, you should go check out my most recent blog post because I had a lot of fun putting together a list of Christmas knits that I've knit for people, and also I plan on knitting for people this year. And so it was just a lot of fun to put that together and really put me in a Christmassy mood. I have a list in the back of my planner, my passion planner, which I mentioned last week. So much fun for things that I'm going to make for people this year, and I'm really excited about that. So that's really wonderful. It's very strange since I don't have very much to talk about this week. The area around me is not very like cluttered, and I feel like there's stuff missing, but I know there's not. In regards to the book that I'm reading, I didn't make any progress with it at all. It's been a busy week. On Wednesday, we had our engagement pictures taken, which is really great. I've seen 2 pictures from the photo shoot, and oh my goodness, I'm so excited to see the rest of them. There will be pictures up on my blog for sure, and on Instagram and on Facebook and everywhere. Yeah, I'm so excited to see them. I cannot wait. And it was a joy to work with the photographer Brie Costello and her husband. So that was really fun. It was really fun to walk around campus, and then we went to Research Park, which if you're an ag, you know where that is. But it's a park on campus, and that's where my fiance proposed. So it was really special, and the sun was setting, and I had a tulle skirt on, and it was just really pretty. So I'm really excited to see all that. And there were some pictures of us knitting, because my fiance knows how to knit. I taught him how to knit. He's making a scarf, so that's really great. And so I can't wait to see those pictures either. So, also, to bring things to a nice close and to get people excited for the future, like I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast there, I'm looking for a name, or I'm trying to name the podcast, because you can't go nameless. That just doesn't go very well. So yeah, there are big things coming. I've been working pretty hard on them. I've got, it requires tools. I have acquired the tools. It involves my kitchen. It involves my stove. It involves yarn. I don't know if you can put things together, what that might mean. I designed a logo. I do have a name for what I'm going to be doing, but I'm not going to share that with you quite yet. Just because I want to put it all together and just kind of release it all at once, and it'll be really exciting. I can't wait for you guys to see it. I'm really excited about where it's going to go. It's just a lot of fun. So, on that note, I will say goodbye because I'm done. I have no more things to show you. But thank you so much for chatting with me and listening to me rant about my knitting things and what I want to knit and what I'm going to knit. And you can follow me on all the social media that I'll include at the very end. And thank you for your kind comments as well. Thanks for sticking with me, and I'll see you next week. Bye! It's quite a dramatic shawl, I will say that. It looks very dramatic, but it's so wonderful and so squishy.